This is the Flux 1 month overview reading for February 2023. It's currently January 16th, 2023, 11:20 p.m. Eastern Time. Flux at the time of this reading is 0.6419, just over 64 cents. The overall theme and behavior, we have a key resistance level on the scale of a multi-day chart that's highlighted here. It looks like we hit it probably... It looks like we hit it... Possibly, there's 4 places where there's a very high probability of us hitting it, 4 separate days. Whereas the low, it looks like there's 3 separate days that are highest probability of a lowest low. They're at the start of the month, but looks like we're held up against resistance the majority of the month, so we'll get into it. There's also an unexpected move to the upside, at least one unexpected move to the upside, and it looks like we probably have that. Looks like that big. There's 2 notably unexpected moves to the upside. One on the 2nd, it looks like, and one on the 27th. Behavior around the... Okay, also, it looks like there's also probably one at the start of the month, like maybe on the 1st. And one probably... Maybe one more in there. It looks like maybe on the 24th. But behavior around the highest high, we have a sideways rotation along a key support level. So we turn resistance into support at the high, at least temporarily, and we rotate sideways along that. There's a fast, sudden move higher off of the rotation that leads to the high. And then behavior around the lowest low. Out of the lowest low, there's a sideways fluctuating rally that precedes a decline. Looks like at the end of the month, we have this unicursal opportunity. And there's quite a few significant trades in here, which I'll get into in the paid version. For those of you that are... Sorry, for those of you that are interested in getting the paid version, aren't getting the paid version just yet, you can go to our services on tarotfortraders.com, click on Eso-Meta forecasts, go to the click here for your forecasts, put in the ticker that you're interested in, and sign up for the monthly subscription, which is going to be $29 for a few more days. On the 19th, it becomes $50. I think we're probably still having some payment processing issues on the website, so you'll want to email us to connect, and we can set up like a PayPal payment for this month, and then set it up the way that it needs to be set up the following month. All right, guys. With that said, on the 1st, we have a high probability of a high. There's a fake out, shakeout, or intentional misdirection, the triggering of an indicator falsely, like, you know, in a deceptive kind of manner, to get us to do something impulsive. On the 2nd, it looks like there may be a gap down overnight, and on the 2nd, there's a rally higher to meet resistance. Key support level highlighted on the 3rd. It looks like around a day's low, and then on the 4th, yeah. So it looks like there's probably a gap down on the 1st to the 2nd, and then a rally out of that gap down on the 2nd, but. We have a high probability of a lowest low here on the 4th, so there could be quite a bit of movement there on the 3rd. On the 3rd and the 4th, it looks like probably quite a bit of movement to the downside to reach a prominent low and a high probable location of a lowest low for the month. There's a notable decline on the 4th, marking a trade opportunity. I'll get into that in the paid version. On the 5th, we have a move higher. It's a notable move higher, the beginning of at least a little bit of a rally here on the 5th. Looks like we have sideways fluctuation on the 6th, back and forth through the same price level 3 times, crisscrossing it. So we go up through it, down through it, up through it, and then we confirm a bullish trend on that 3rd move through it. On the 7th, we had multiple failed attempts to break through key resistance on the scale of a 1 month. On the 8th, a decline through multiple support levels on the scale of a 1 month. On the 9th, it looks like we start out with out of a prominent trough, or at least like a day's. There's like a prominent trough there on the cusp of the 8th and the 9th, and we rally out of that prominent trough along a diagonal trend line like the first half of the 9th, but that ends with a fast sudden move higher and then a decline through that diagonal trend line with increasing volatility on the way down into it looks to be like a gap down on the morning into the morning of the 10th. And then out of that location, that lowest low location that we have on the 10th, this is another high probable location of the lowest low. Out of that, we have a big move to the upside, and big move to the upside early in the day out of that low. And then from that, it looks like we have some sideways fluctuating decline preceding a rally into the end of the 10th. So it's quite a bit going on there on the 10th. On the 11th, guys, this was really standing out to me in the you'll see, like when we get to the Lover's card, like I start saying something on this reading right here when we did the shuffle, but it's an important day for something. There's an agreement between two leaders, possibly a merger of some kind, but like an agreement between two leaders that's important. A decision that like there may be like a bit of a holding pattern and then a pop and drop there on the 11th, and we have a prominent crest that appears on the 12th and bearish price swings with a sharp drop there on the 12th. Into what appears to be another location of a lowest low on the 13th, out of which we rally with increasing momentum as we move forward into the day. On the 14th, we have a failed attempt to break through key resistance. Most likely, this is the same resistance that we met at the crest here on the 12th, but key resistance that we recently tried to break through once before and failed. Then we falsely established a support level in between that first attempt to break through the resistance and the disappointment card where we attempt to break through it again. That failed attempt is followed by a decline through a key support level on the scale of a 1 month. A crest early in the day on the 15th. It looks like an overbought crest on the 15th with a notable sell-off. On the 16th, we have a breakout on the scale of a 1 month, meeting a important looks like top of a range. We're bound by a range on the 17th. It looks like it's probably the top of a range, and we have sideways rotation along a key support level with a sharp drop there towards the end of the day. On the scale of a 1 day chart, sharp drop. We have a prominent trough. Like on the morning of the 18th, it looks like that sharp drop into a prominent trough for the month. On the morning of the 18th, followed by a prominent crest or peak there on the 18th as well. So we go like into making a local low on the 18th, and then we make a new local high. So there's probably quite a bit of price movement there on the 18th, and that continues into the 19th. It looks like bumping along resistance, breaking through resistance, bumping along resistance kind of behavior into the 19th, excuse me, and then towards the end of the day on the 19th, there's a bit of a decline, offering an opportunity, a trade opportunity, which I'll get into in the paid version. On the 20th, erratic behavior back and forth through the same price level, confirming, in the midst of which we revisit a crest that was recently a past opportunity. In my sense, this is another probable location right here at the end of the day on the 20th or early in the day on the 21st. Another high probable location of a highest high. And there's a decline off of that prominent crest or peak there on like early in the day on the 21st, with increasing momentum to the downside as we move forward into the day of the 21st. There's an important trough or bottom here on the 22nd that'll stand out. We do some sideways rotation along key support on the 23rd, probably like around the same bottom as the 22nd. sideways rotation, we rise, meet the nearest important resistance on the 1 month scale, and then fall back down and continue rotating sideways along key support on a 1 month scale there on the 23rd. On the 24th, we established that support and moved to the upside significantly, standing out on a 1 month. And we meet the highest high price level again. There's a high probability of meeting the highest high price level again there on the at the end of the day on the 24th or on the 25th somewhere. But after that significant move to the upside on the 24th, after establishing support, we move higher, right? That significant move, at the end of which we reestablish support at a higher level again there on a scale of a 1 month. But that rally ends on the 25th, so there's a bit of a decline between the 25th and the 26th somewhere, out of which there's a notable move to the upside, successfully on the 26th, turning old resistance into new support. Looks like we have another location of a high probable highest high here, somewhere between the end of the 26th and the 27th. A key technical price level highlighted there around the 27th. Super important price level highlighted there around the 27th. Probably the highest high again. And there's a notable trade opportunity towards the end of the day on the 26th or early in the day on the 27th. Again, I'll get into that on the paid version. On the 28th, we have a prominent move higher. So we likely open lower on the 28th with a prominent move higher, followed by a full retracement that move back down on the same day. Either that or we have a full retracement of the move higher to meet the highest high price level that we met on the 27th. We have a full retracement of that move back down on the 28th. But that unicursal standing out there around the 27th, 28th, which marks an important price level from which we'll see with the next decline, we'll either fall from that level into the next like multi-day notable decline, we'll fall from that level, or on the next nearest multiple day decline, we'll fall through that price level. If we continue to go up, we'll fall through that price level, and that's what the unicursal is telling us. The sneak preview for the following month, out of a decline, there's a fast sudden move higher, marking the end of that decline. I have not yet done the 1 year for FLUX, so when I get into the 1 year for FLUX, we'll get even better. It's just a matter of how much time I have to do these readings. With that said, guys, we're going to get into the paid portion. So stay tuned for that if you've got the paid portion. Again, if you don't, you can go to the website Tarot for Traders. Most importantly, guys, make sure you follow, subscribe, like. Most importantly, make sure you follow the rule of karma. The easiest way to follow the rule of karma is to go to the website tarotfortraders.com, click on the resources tab, send your 5% of profits back to pay through our PayPal or through a Cash App. We're going to add some tabs for donations to charities and whatnot to help support the 5% forward that we're asking people to send. And the rule of karma, again, if you don't know, guys, 5% forward, 5% backwards of the profits that you make from this information. You got to do that every single time. Doesn't matter if it's $1, it doesn't matter if it's $100,000. Every single time you make money, otherwise you cut off the flow of abundance. The profits will shut off. It doesn't matter if we're right or wrong. Things can still go wrong. That even when you're right, you can lose money. It just happens. And the universe will not allow this information to be used for profit if it's not also being sent out into the world for good deeds. And that's what that 5% forward, 5% backwards is about. That's the whole point of this channel, my friends. Make sure you follow that. And with that, guys, I'll see you on the next one.